Hope you all are safe at home and enjoying your holidays. It's a wonderful experience to meet you like this. And today I'm going to teach you about decimals, which is the first lesson of our third midterm in 4B book, chapter 11, page number 52 to 57. In the first part of the lesson, you will learn what are decimal numbers and how to write tens as decimals. Okay, have a look at this. These are familiar numbers, the whole numbers which you have learnt in chapter 1, 4-digit whole numbers, and it's clear about the place value of each number. I will show you another one. This number, you all can read this number, 3421. Number 3 is in the thousands place and has a value of 3000. Number 4 is in the hundreds place and has a value of 400. Number 2 is in the tens place and has a value of 20. And number 1 is in the ones place and has a value of 1. I think it's clear about the place value of each number. Thousands, hundreds, tens, ones. Okay. Now look at this set of numbers. It's little bit different from the previous set of numbers as there's a dot in between the numbers. What is this dot and what are these numbers? We can read this as 8.5, 0.3, 12.4, 124.5. Like this we can read. Yes, there's a number in the left side of this point. This point is called the decimal point. These numbers are called the decimal numbers and this is the decimal point. The number in the left side of the decimal point is in the ones place. The number in the right side of the decimal point we call that is tens place. I will write it. 8.5. This is the decimal point. This is the number in the left side of the decimal point. This is in the ones place, ones. And the number in the right side of the decimal point is in the tens place. Tens, not tens. Not tens, tens. Okay, now let's discuss what are tens. Look at this diagram. There's a rectangle. The rectangular figure is divided into 10 equal parts. There are 10 equal parts. Each part is called a tenth. One part. There are 10 equal parts. One part is called tenth. 1/10. Or we can write it as a fraction 1/10. I will show you it. This is the rectangular figure. It is divided into 10 equal parts and one part is colored. So we call this 1/10. There are 10 tenths in 1 1. This picture we take as a whole 1. So we can write 10 tenths equals 1 1. I can show this on a number line like this. Look at the number line. Here's the number line. The number line is divided into 10 equal parts from 0 to 1. There are small 10 parts. Each part is called 1/10. And keep this in the mind. This is very important. There are 10 tenths in 1 1. Okay. Now, this 1/10, we are going to write this as a decimal. 1/10 as a decimal, we can write 0.1. I will show you this. Look at this. 0.1. This kind of numbers are called the decimal numbers. When we write 1/10 as a decimal, we can write 0.1. A decimal number contains different parts. What are they? There's a number in the left side of the middle one is the point. This is called the decimal point. The number in the left side of the decimal point is called it is the whole number, and it is in the ones place. The number in the left side of the decimal point is in the ones place, and the number which is in the right side of the decimal point is in the tens place. Tens, not tens. Tens. A decimal contains the whole number part, decimal point, and a fraction part. And remember, the number in the left side of the decimal point is in the ones place. The right side number is in the tens place. Okay. And also I can show it using a place value chart. This is the place value chart. Here in the middle there's the decimal point. Left side is ones, right side is tens, no ones. So nothing is there. 1/10, 1/10, 0.1. I will take another example. Look at this. One whole is divided into 10 equal parts and 2 parts are colored. So we can write this as a fraction. First we will write this as a fraction. How do we write this as a fraction? We can write it 2 tenths. 2 tenths. This one. And I will show it on a number line. The number line is this. From 0 to 1, there are 10 tenths, 2 tenths. This is the number line which represents this. Okay, now let's write this fraction as a decimal. I will show you the place value table. Here I can write this as a decimal 0.2. 0.2. Look at this place value table. No ones, 2 tenths, 0.2. And can you write the fraction represented by this bar as a decimal? How do we write it? First, we will write the fraction represented by this. What is the fraction represented by this? 3 tenths. 3 tenths. It means 3 parts out of 10. Look at the number bar, number line. 3 parts. 3 tenths. Okay? And we can write this as 0.3. Look at this place value table. No ones, 3 tenths, 0.3. I think it's clear to you. Okay. Now again look at this number. I think you all can read this now. 0.3. In the number 0.3, the digit 0. I told the number in the left side of the decimal point is in the ones place. The number in the right side of the decimal point in the tenths place. So the digit 0 is in the ones place. It is in the ones place. It stands for 0 ones and has a value of 0. I think it's very clear. And then look at this number. The digit 3 is in the tens place. It is in the tens place and it stands for 3 tenths. 3 tenths and has a value of 0.3. That is the place value of each digit. Okay. Okay. Now let's write these tens as decimals. Fraction 4/10. We can write this as a decimal 0.4. 5/10. 0.5. Now see, the other one is inverse. 6/10. It means the same thing. 6/10 means 6 out of 10. 6/10. Now we can write this as a decimal 0.6. 7/10. 7/10. 0.7. I think it's very clear to you. Look at this chart. When we write this as decimals, we will get the answers like this. Clearly look at this chart. When we take it as a summary, we can have a look at this, okay? Now, carefully look at these fractions. I think you all can remember the previous lesson which we have learnt in previous chapter about fractions. These fractions, these all are proper fractions. I think you can remember the proper and improper fractions. Okay, these all are called proper fractions. Proper fractions means the numerator is smaller than the denominator. So these are all are proper fractions. When we write all these proper fractions, the tens fractions, the denominator is always 10, not another number, right? So when we write this as a decimal, we will get these answers. Okay, now we were talking about proper and improper fractions. I think you all can remember, but I will remind it again. Have a look at these fractions. I think you can remember these fractions. These kind of fractions are called improper fractions because here the numerator is equal to denominator. Numerator is greater than denominator. These kind of fractions are called improper fractions. So, now look at this. Look at this part. Here all the 10 parts are shaded. So how can we write this as a fraction? It means 10 out of 10. We can write it as 10/10. 10/10. It is an improper fraction as numerator is equal to denominator. So I will show this in a chart like this. Look at this. Ones, tens. Here there are 10 tens. We can write this as 10 tens. 10 tens. Okay. In the place value chart, we can represent it. There are 10 tens. And I think you can remember we have learned that there are 10 tens in 1 1. So we cannot keep this in the tens place. We will take it as a 1 to the one side. The 10 tens make 1 1. There are 10 tens, it becomes 1 1 and no tens. So we can write it as 1.0. And remember that when we write 10 tens as a decimal, we can write 1.0 or 1. Both are same answers, right? Okay, now let's look at another improper fraction. This is another improper fraction. 15 tens. 15 tens. We will see. 15 tens. Okay. Now look. I can break this 15 into two parts. I am going to break this 15 into two parts. 15, 10 and 5. 15 can be broken into two parts as 10 and 5. 10 tens and 5 tens. 10 tens means 1 1. 1 1, 5 tens. So it can be written as 1.5. I will show it in a place value table like this. Look at this. 15 tens. Here in the tens side there are 15. But we cannot keep all the 15 here, as in 10 tens there is a 1. So we will take that 10 as a 1 to the one side. This 15 tens, we took 10 tens as a 1 to this side and 5 remain here. So we can write it as 1.5. Okay. Now we will convert another improper fraction into a decimal. 23 tens. 23 tens. 23 can be broken into two parts. 20 tens and 3 tens. 20 and 3. 20 tens means 2 ones. 10 tens means 1 1. Then 20 tens means 2 ones. 2 ones, 3 tens. So we can write this as 2.3. Okay. Now I will tell you a short method which is a trick. In maths it's very easy for us if we use few tricks. Okay. Now see. Now you will know the method, how do we regroup it. But if there are tens, tens means when the denominator is 10, they are called tens numbers. This is an improper fraction. So we can enter the decimal point between 2 and 3. 2.3. I will take another one. 65 tens. This is in words. We can write this as a fraction 65 tens. And we can write it as a decimal 6.5. 14 tens. 1.4. Now I will give you some improper fractions. You try to do it alone. 16 tens. 22 tens. 19 tens. This both is same. You can write this as a fraction. 19 tens. Now you can write as a decimal. Okay. 34 tens. Okay. Try to do this alone. Now let's go to the other part. To make it clear, I will show you another example. Now look at this. 3 ones, 4 tens. 3 ones, 4 tens. Shall we mark this on this place value chart? Ones. 3 ones. 3 ones, 4 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 ones, 4 tens. So we can write this 3.4. 3 ones, 4 tens. And I will show you another example. 5 ones, 3 tens. It is 5.3. And 21 tens. How can we write this? 21 tens. 21 tens means this. can write it as 2.1. Okay. Up till now, we have been writing proper and improper fractions as decimals. Let us now look at the mixed numbers. Can you remember what are the mixed numbers which we have learnt in the previous chapter? Mixed numbers. I will write an example. Look at this. 1 and 7/10. 1 and 7/10. As in a decimal number, a mixed number also contains with a whole number. This is the whole number. And a fraction part. This is the whole number and the fraction part. And remember, look at this mixed number. This is the number 1 is the whole number, 7/10 is the fraction part. This number 1, the whole number, represents ones. There's 1, 1. 1, 1. The whole number part represents ones. Now it's clear, the ones and the tens. In the left side of the decimal point, ones, right side of the decimal point, tens. So, even in the mixed number, number 1 represents ones. So, we can write it as 1, 1. And this fraction part, 7/10, it represents the tens. 7/10. 1, 1, 7/10. Now we can write this as a decimal. 1.7. Okay, I will take another example. 1 and 8/10. Right? This one represents 1. We can use plus mark. This 8/10 we can write as decimal 0.8. When we add this, we will get 1.8. Another one. 2 and 2/10. How can we write this as a decimal? 2. 2 is the whole number. It represents 2 ones. 2 ones. This represents 2/10. 2/10. In both methods, we can do this. You can add or you can write this as 2 ones, 2/10 and write as a decimal. 2.2. And now I will show you, I will tell you the easy short method. Look at this. The tens are there. We will enter the decimal point in between 5 and 1. 5.1. 4 and 3/10. You can write it as 4.3. Okay. Now I will give you some mixed numbers. You try to write them as decimals. 2 and 5/10, 1 and 4/10, 3 and 2/10, 6 and 1/10. Okay, now I think it's clear to you. We have converted decimals, fractions, the proper fractions, improper fractions and mixed numbers as decimals. And remember how to write them as decimals and have a clear idea about what are the decimal numbers. Okay, then we will talk more in the next chapter. I think you can do now the exercises from page 52 to 57. Try to do them and do my activities also, and enjoy your holidays. Okay, bye. In the previous lesson, you have learned tens and how to write decimals as tens. Today we are going to learn about hundreds and how to write hundreds as a decimal. First, let's talk what is a hundredth. The word is hundred, not hundred, hundred. Right. Look at this figure. This figure is divided into 100 equal parts. There are 100 equal parts. Each part is called 100. So the fraction short from this figure we can write as 1 out of 100. 100. 100. Now let's try to write this as a decimal. You can remember how did we write 1/10 as a decimal? 1/10 we wrote as 0.1. This is 1/10. Now we are going to write 100 as a decimal. First of all, I would show you the place that where how many hundreds are there in 1/10. Look at this number. 1. The interval is divided into 10 equal parts. From 0 to 1, you learn that 10 tens make 1 1. Like that, here there are 10 tens in 1. Each part is 1/10. This small part from 0 to 1/10 again can be divided into another 10 equal parts. Each small part is called 100. This 100 we can write as a decimal as 0.01. Look at this. 0.01. The decimal place in the previous chapter we learned the number before the decimal point is ones place, the left side number. The right side number after the decimal point is the tens place. Now another place is added. That new place is called hundreds. Ones, tens, hundreds. The decimal point, the left side number is ones, right side number is tens, the second number is hundreds. I think you can remember that we learned 10 tens make 1 1. 10 tens is there for 1. 0 to 1, the time interval is divided into 10 equal parts. Each part is called 1/10. Again, this 1/10 part is divided into another 10 smaller parts. Look at this. So, 10 hundreds make 1/10. As 10 tens is 1 1. 10 hundreds make 1/10. And can you tell me how many hundreds are there in 1 1? How many hundreds are there? 10 hundreds make 1/10 and 100 hundreds make 1 1. For this one, there are 100 hundreds. I will show you that we wrote that 100 as a decimal 0.01. Now look at this place value chart. Ones, decimal point, tens, hundreds. No ones, no tens, 100. Okay, have a clear idea about this place value chart. 1, no ones, no tens, 100. So we can write 0.01. Now it's clear when we write 100 or 100 in words is in decimal form is 0.01. Remember, there are 10 hundreds in 1/10. So, ones place, tens place, hundreds place. Now look at this fraction. 200s. 200s. We can write this as a decimal 0.02. 200s. No ones, no tens, 200s. We cannot go to the hundreds place at once. So we have to pass the ones place, tens place and then the hundreds place. Now let's write this as a decimal. 300s. Now tell me how to write 300s as a decimal. No ones, no tens, 300s, 0.03. Like that you can continue. 10 hundreds as a decimal. We'll go to a place value chart. Look at this place value chart. 10 hundreds. No ones, no tens, 10 hundreds. Here, the place value chart does not change always. The left side of the decimal point is ones. The first right side place is tens, then hundreds. Here, according to this fraction, there are no ones, and no tens. Only 10 hundreds are there. 10 hundreds. You can see there are 10 hundreds. But we know that 10 hundreds equal to 1/10. So we have to regroup this. Let's regroup this. Let's take this 10 hundreds as a 1/10 to this side. Look at this. This 10 hundreds, when we regroup, it comes as 1/10 to the 10th side. So it becomes 0.1. Here 0 is, we can neglect it. If you write 0.10 is also correct. But when we write 10 hundreds as a decimal, we will get 0.1. 0.1. Now let's take another example. 11 hundreds. Let's write this as a decimal. First we will mark it on a place value chart. Look at this. Place value chart contains ones, decimal point, tens, hundreds. There are 11 hundreds. 11 hundreds there. 11 hundreds. Look at this. We cannot keep 11 hundreds in the hundreds place, as 10 hundreds make 1/10. So let's take this tens to the tens place and 1 is remaining. Look at this. When we take these 10 hundreds into the tens side, it comes as 1/10 and 1 is remaining. It remains here. So when we write the 11 hundreds as a decimal, it becomes 0.11. 0.11. And it's clear that we can use a place value chart to write a fraction as a decimal, and even without the place value chart we can do it, and to avoid the mistakes you can break the number into 2 parts. Let's take this 11 we can break into 2 pieces. 11 hundreds as 10 and 1. 10 hundreds, 100, 100, not 100, 100. Okay, these 10 hundreds we can write as 1/10. 1/10, 100. So 1/10 we know the 10th place is the first place after the decimal point. 1/10, 100. I think it's clear to you. We will take another example. Look at this. 36 hundredths. Now I am going to write this as a decimal without using the place value chart. Okay, this 36 we can break into 2 parts. 36 as 30 hundredths and 6 hundredths. 30 hundredths means that we know 10 hundredths make 1/10. So 30 hundredths means 3 tenths. Here 3 tenths. 3 tenths, 6 hundredths. It means 0.10s place 3. Hundreds place 6. 0.36. When you practice this, even without breaking, even without using a place value chart, it may be very easy to you to write the fractions, the hundreds as decimals. Look at this example, 45 hundreds. When we break this into 2 pieces, we will get 40 hundreds and 5 hundreds. 40 hundreds means 4 tenths. 4 tenths, 5 hundreds. So we can write these 0.45. I think it's clear. Now let's write 100 hundredths as a decimal. 100 hundredths. This is 100 hundredths. Okay? And you can remember that 10 hundredths equals to 1 tenth. 10 hundredths equals 1 tenth. So 100 hundredths equals to 10 tenths. 10 tenths. If 10 hundredths is equal to 1 tenth, 100 hundredths is equal to 10 tenths. Right? This 10 tenths, you know, 10 tenths equals 1 1. Remember this relationship between tens, hundreds and ones. 10 hundredths make 1 tenth. So 100 hundredths make 10 tenths. 10 tenths equals 1 1. So when we write 100 hundredths as a decimal, the answer is 1 or 1.0. Also correct. Let's write 213 hundredths. Now see, you can see 213 hundredths. We are going to write this as a decimal. First, we will break this 213 into pieces. 213 we can write as 200 plus 10 plus 3. You can remember that we have done this in the first lesson, 200 and 10 and 3. Altogether it makes 200. So these all are hundreds. 200 hundredths, 10 hundredths and 3 hundredths. Okay, so 200 hundredths is 2 ones. It is 2 ones. 10 hundredths means 1 tenth. 1 tenth. 3 hundredths. So we can write this as a decimal, 2 ones. If we keep the decimal point first, ones place is the number left side of the decimal point, 2 ones. 1 tenth. The first number, the right side number after the decimal point is tenths, 1 tenth. The second number after the decimal point is hundredths place, 3 hundredths. 2.13. We can keep it like this, 2.13. Let's take another example to make it clear. 116 hundredths. We can break this into 3 pieces. 100 plus 10 plus 6. 100 tenths. 100 hundredths. 10 hundredths. 6 hundredths. Okay. 100 hundredths means 1 1. 1 1. 10 hundredths means 1 tenth. 6 hundredths. Now let's write this. 1 1. 1 tenth. 6 hundredths. So when we write 116 hundredths as a decimal, we will get 1.16. Okay, now write these 3 activities, and I think you can do this alone now. Write it and do it alone. Now let's write mixed hundreds as decimals. Look at this. 4 and 22 hundredths. Okay, here there are 4 ones and 22 hundredths. This 22 hundredths again we can break into 2 parts as 2 tenths, 2 hundredths. Now look at this. 4 ones, 22 hundredths we can write as 4 ones, 2 tenths, 2 hundredths. Now let's write as a decimal. 4 ones, 2 tenths. Before the tens place, the decimal point is there. 2 tenths. The first number after the decimal point is tens place. The second number after the decimal point is hundreds place. Now several times I told this. Now I think it's clear to you. 2 hundredths. So when we write a mixed number as a decimal, we can take the answer like this. 4 and 22 hundredths as 4.22. Always there should be 2 places after the decimal point when we write the hundreds, as there are tens and hundreds. Most of the time when we are shopping, the prices of the items are written in decimals like this. You have seen, this is the dollars mark, you all know that. The prices are written as decimals. Okay. And we know that $1 is equals to 100 cents. $1 is equal to 100 cents. So we can tell 1 cent is 100th of a dollar. So we can write it as 1 cent is equal to 100th of a dollar. 100, we know that 1 cent is equal, so $0.01 dollars. 1 cent. That's right, 130 cents in dollars, or in decimal, dollars and cents, or in decimal form. Okay, now look. When we break 130 cents into 2 pieces, we can get 130, 100 and 30. 100 hundredths and 30 hundredths. You all know that 100 hundredths is 1 1. 100 hundredths is equal to 1 1. 30 hundredths is equal to 3 tenths. So 1 1, 3 tenths. When we write it as a decimal, 1 ones, 3 tenths. No hundreds, right? We can put 0. So 130 cents in decimal form, or in dollars and cents. This side dollars, this side cents. We can write it as $1.30. This example, 5 cents. 5 cents we are going to write in dollars. We know that 5 cents is 5 hundredths of a dollar. 5 hundredths, and we can write it as $0.05 like this. And look at this example, 15 cents. 15 cents means 15 hundredths. 15 hundredths, and 15 hundredths we can break into 2 pieces. 10 hundredths and 5 hundredths. 10 hundredths means 1 tenth. 1 tenth, 5 hundredths. Right? I will take another example. 623 cents we are going to write in dollars or in decimal form. Okay? This 600 I can break into 3 equal parts like 6 hundredths, 20 hundredths, 3 hundredths. Right? 6 hundredths means 6 ones. 6 ones. 20 hundredths means 2 tenths. And 3 hundredths. So 6 ones, 6.2 tenths, 3 hundredths. To do this, you should have the clear understanding about the decimal point, the ones place, the tens place and the hundreds place. Again I will remind, the number in the left side of the decimal point always ones place. The first number in the right side of the decimal point is tens and the second number is hundreds. Okay, now it's clear to you. Then you can do the activities in the book. I will give you some activities by myself and write these money in decimal form. 425 cents in decimal form means as a dollar. 123 cents in decimal form, $6 in decimal form. Now I think it's clear to you. We have discussed about tens and hundreds and how to write them as decimals. Let's meet in the next chapter. Okay, bye. Comparing and ordering decimals. Okay, look at these two decimals. 0.56, 0.6. Which decimal is greater? At once you may think this is the greater decimal as there is 56. Do we read this as 56? No, after the decimal place we read the numbers one by one. 0.56, 0.6. Let's go to the place value table. Look at this. The first number is 0.56. Now you have the idea about ones place, tens place and hundreds place. When we write them in the place value table, we will get 0.56 there, here 0.6. Look at the one side. Both numbers have 0 as the ones place. So when we compare two numbers, first we have to look at the ones place. That is equal. So let's go to the tens place. What is the tens place number? In this number, in this decimal number, 5 is the number which is in the tens place. In here, 6 is the number which is in the tens place. So, from 5 and 6, 6 is greater. So, we can tell 0.6 is greater than 0.56. Okay, now look at these two decimals. 5.09, 5.2. Now let's compare these. Look at the, first we compare the ones place. Ones place, same number. Now let's go to the tens place. The first number after the decimal point is tens. Here 0, here 2. So no need to go to the hundreds place. From the ones place we can compare. 0, 2. 0 tenths is smaller than 2 tenths. So we can write 5.2 is greater than 5.09. Now it's clear how to compare two decimal numbers. Now let's arrange the decimals. Now look at these three decimals. 2.83, 2.38, 3.2. We have to arrange them from the smallest to the greatest. So first let's find what is the smallest number. Look at this place value chart. 2.83, 2 ones, 8 tenths, 3 hundredths. 2.38, 2 ones, 3 tens, 8 hundreds. 3.2, 3 ones, 2 tens. In these numbers, first let's compare the ones place. Here there are 2 ones and 3 ones. So the smallest one we have to select from here. As this is equal, let's go to the tens place. Tens place number 8 tens, 3 tens. So 3 tens is smaller than 8 tens. So we can select this is the smallest decimal. First one 2.38. This is the smallest one. Now let's select from, now we selected this. Let's select from these. We can compare it with ones place as 2 ones, 3 ones. This is smaller, so the next smaller number is 2.83. So the remaining number is the greatest number, 3.2. I think it's clear to all of you. Now let's go to the number patterns. We are going to count on or count back in decimals, just like we do for the whole numbers. Okay. Now look at this number line. There's a number line. Okay. First let's recognize what is the difference between each decimal. It's better we will take two closer numbers. Let's take here from 3.5 to 3.6. The difference is same between each number. To find the difference, we can subtract 3.6 minus 3.5. Remember, when we subtract or add the decimals, we should keep the decimal point in the same line. 6 minus 5, 1. 3 minus 3, 0. The difference is 0.1. So this side 0.1 more. And from here to here 0.1 less. This side we can count on. This side we can count back. Now look at this number line. In each marking, the decimal place, each marking stands for 0.01. Here we can see that 0.01 more than 10.67 is 10.68. This side, counting back, 0.01 less than 10.67 is 10.65. Here also we have to find the difference. First, to complete a number line, we have to check whether the second number is greater or smaller than the first number. Now here, the second number is greater than the first number. So, the number pattern, we have to count on, not count back. It is going in 0.01s. Okay, now let's find the answers for these. 0.1 more than 16.1. How do we do that? More. 0.1 more. Here we have to add 16.1 plus 0.1. The decimal place we have to keep it under the other one. 0.1. Now we can add 1 and 1, 2, 6. 0.1 more than 16.1 is 16.2. What is the number 0.01 less than 18.65 plus? Here we have to subtract 18.65 minus 0.01. 5 minus 1, 4, 6, 8, 1. Okay, like this we can find the missing number. Now look at this. Now I think this is an activity. You can write this. Try to do this alone. Okay, now let's go into the number patterns. We will see how to complete a number pattern. Look at this number pattern. 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, blank here. First, let's go into a number line. Let's use it to help us. The first thing, before we complete a number pattern, we should look whether the second number is smaller or greater than the first number. From that we can think whether this number pattern we have to count back or count on. Now here the second decimal is greater than the first one. It means the value is increasing, so we have to count on. To complete this, as the second step, we have to find the difference between each decimal. No need to find one by one. We can go to two closer decimals and find them. So from 0.6 we can subtract 0.4. The difference is 0.2. As it is counting on, we have to go to the blank place. This is the blank place. So let's add this difference to the number before of the blank. 0.8 plus 0.2. This is the missing number. So let's complete the number patterns like this. Let's complete another number pattern like this. Now look at this number line. There's another number pattern. 3.77, 3.74, 3.71, 3.65 here. Okay. Now look at the number pattern. Here, the second decimal is smaller than the first one. It means the value is decreasing. Here we have to count back. Now let's find the difference. Now we cannot subtract from the second number. We have to subtract from the first number, as this is the greater one. Let's go to two closer numbers. 3.77 minus 3.74. 0. Here this is the difference between each decimal. As we have to count back, let's go to the number before the blank. 3.71. Here we have to subtract 0.03. This is the missing decimal, 3.68. Now I think it's clear how to complete a number pattern and how to mark it on a number line and counting on or counting back. So now you can do the activities in the book, and let's meet in another chapter. Okay, bye.